Hi guys, welcome back to another screencast. This time we're taking a look at some ethical issues as they relate to children's literature. I've added a tab here marked ethics, and within that ethics tab I've included a Word document, which I'm just now telling the computer to go ahead and open it up for me, which hopefully it will. When we used to meet face to face for this class, I would have the opportunity to talk to you about ethical issues. But right now, in a course that meets only online, I don't have that kind of luxury. So I want to highlight what I think are the most important ethical issues as they relate to children's and young adult literature. I've put them here. I've put some graphics up to kind of remind you about them and their importance as well. First on my list is censorship. It always will be there. The job of the school librarian is to develop a collection, to select the books that are appropriate for your kids, for their grade levels, for their development. That's your job, selection. Unfortunately, what gets in the way of your job is censorship. People, usually very well-meaning people, who come in and challenge a book. This is something we'll talk a little bit more about in young adult literature. You'll have an assignment that relates to censorship, but I urge you to look at the materials that are available to you at the American Library Association's website, specifically that from the Office of Intellectual Freedom. They have lots of materials about banned books. They have lists of frequently challenged books. They have lots of material for you to read and for you to know about. So let's take a quick look, if we can, there by going to www.ala.org, and from there clicking on the banned and challenged book link that's right there on the left. Used to be hidden a little bit more, and you can tell because it's so easy to access now that this is an issue that's really important here. If you look at what is available here, you've got information about banned and challenged books, about Banned Books Week, about challenges to library materials, and my favorite place to visit, frequently challenged books. If we click on that link, it will take us to some lists that I think will surprise you just a little. There are various lists of banned books here, including banned authors, banned classics in children's literature, lots of material that you can take a look at here. If you look at the most frequently challenged books, you can look at authors by year, banned and challenged classics. You can look at the statistics. Let's just go ahead and pull up the list from the last decade that we have records of here, and take a look at some of the books that are here. Here's Harry Potter right here at the top. Certainly a book that lots and lots and lots of kids in your school have read. Here's one of the books we're reading for class. It's Perfectly Normal. Right underneath it, Captain Underpants, one of my favorite graphic novel series of all time. Underneath that, here's a classic, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I hope what you see as we kind of look down this list, here's The Giver, here's In the Night Kitchen, that we've got lots of books like Bridge to Terabithia that are part and parcel of most elementary school library collections, and yet here they are on the banned book list. So there's no book, I think, that's safe. I actually hate that term, safe book, because a safe book probably doesn't have anything whatsoever in it that recommends it to a reader. That's just, I think, something that we need to come to understand when we look at challenges that have been made to books. If you look at the top 100, you'll certainly see books that you know and probably books that you love, like Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, or A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, or coming up the list a little bit, A Day No Pigs Would Die, one of those classics that gets challenged. The Junie B. Jones series, one of the most popular series in elementary school. So when you look at censorship, know that there are lots and lots and lots of materials that you can go to that will help you deal with the censorship issue. Now let's come back and pick up other ethical issues. One of the issues that I want to deal with has to do with copying books. I've seen it done. I've seen it done by professionals and who should know better. And so I've put this little infographic in here for you that shows you what is allowable and what is not allowable. The traditional copyright versus the Creative Commons copyright versus public domain. Most of what you're going to have in your collection is traditional copyrighted material. It means that it cannot be adapted, copied, or published without permission first. That includes picture books, that includes novels, and that includes the textbook for this class. You are not allowed to copy those. There is such a thing called fair use, and you do need to be acquainted with what fair use is. For example, fair use for a picture book is to take a copy of the cover and place it on your blog, place it in a slideshow presentation where you're going to talk about the book. You can also include one interior page, but when you go beyond that, you're violating copyright. So please take care when copying interiors of books in particular. The next issue for copyright has to do with circulating ARCs, advanced reader copies, or FNGs, folded and gathered, which are like ARCs of picture books. You're not allowed to circulate those in the library, nor are you allowed to sell them. I will often see them for sale on eBay. That is illegal. These things are provided free of charge, and it is inappropriate, totally inappropriate, to sell those. You can take ARCs and FNGs and put them in teachers' classroom libraries. You can go ahead and let kids take them. That's absolutely fine, but you may not put these as circulated items in your library. Fourth issue, plagiarism. Plagiarism is something that is just not just important to you as a school librarian. It's important to you as a student in my class. When you take someone else's work and pass it off as your own without permission, you are plagiarizing. And actually, you're also infringing on their copyright. I do expect that the work that you turn in for this class is yours and yours alone. And finally, in terms of ethical issues, and this has come up, I think, just recently, has to do with copying audiobooks. And so I put the rules right here. You can record a TV program. You can tell this is obviously British. At home to watch at a later time. That's perfectly legal. But copying a CD that you have on your iPod, or copying a DVD that you bought in another format, so you always have more than one copy, or a copy in more than one location, those are all illegal. And you need to make sure that not only are you following these rules, but that your students and your staff are as well. I hope that this quick overview of ethical issues is something that's valuable to you as you kind of proceed through this particular semester of work. And if you have any questions, I hope that you will contact me over the course of the semester and let me know what's going on. So thank you so much for your attention here, and I will talk